Appreciate it, Roger. Thank you very much. On behalf of the Reveal the Hammer Outlaw Super Late Model Series, we welcome you to race number 7 of the 2024 racing season, the 13th annual Ron Hauser Memorial 100. Also race number 4 of the 2024 Michigan Kenworth Owosso 500 Series. My name is Matt Preer, the Performance Racing Network, alongside the co-voice of Owosso Speedway, Chris Philby. And Chris, first and foremost, let's get down to business. Due to the lateness of the evening, due to the length of that last feature, we are going to scrap out of car introductions. We're going to roll them right out and introduce the 29 cars that will start tonight's feature event. Of note, the 57 of Josh Ware, the Mickey Sled and Snowmobile Depot Seneca Performance Machine, unable to go this evening. So here we go. Here's your starting lineup. Starting on the pole, the Jim's Autos Body and Service Seneca Performance, number 7 from Jackson, Michigan, Justin Clarity, starts on the pole. Alongside him, the Moran Chevrolet FLF Race Cars by Hans, number 72 from Angola, Indiana, Scott Hans. Inside of row number 2, the Big Rigs Incorporated Hanley Enterprises, number 16 from Brighton, Michigan, that is Kyle Crump. Alongside him, the Main Beverage Company, Seneca Performance, number 11 from Owosso, Michigan, Jason Felver. Inside of row number 3, the Rosebrew Farm, Seneca Performance, number 55 from Birch Run, Michigan, that's Dan Leake. Alongside him, the 4J Trucking, Seneca Performance, number 12 from Middleville, Michigan, Brian Bergaker. Inside on row number 4, the Leclerc Racing Badass Race Cars, number 8 from Portage, Michigan, that's Phil Bozell. Alongside him, the Todd Rosebrew Trucking, Seneca Performance, number 1 from St. John's, Michigan, Chad Finley. Inside on row number 5, the Wheeler Trucking, Seneca Performance, number 10 from Flint, Michigan, Blake Childers. Alongside him, your All-Star Performance Fast Qualifier and new track record holder, the Needle Speed Solutions, Seneca Performance, number 14 from Berrien Springs, Michigan, Steve Needles. Inside on row number 6, the ID Engineering, Seneca Performance, number 9 from Grand Rapids, Michigan, it's Mike Root. Alongside him, the Direct Detail, Seneca Performance, number 18 from North Royalton, Ohio, Brandon Short. Inside on row number 7, your current points leader, the Duco Performance, Seneca Performance, number 4 from St. Joseph, Michigan, that's Adam Terry. Alongside him, the Wheeler Trucking, Seneca Performance, number 17 from Birch Run, Michigan, David McManus. Inside on row number 8, your Jason D. Trailer Sales rookie points leader, the Landscape Forms Welding Academy, Triple B Chassis, number 44 from Kalamazoo, Michigan, that's Zach Cook. Alongside him, the SAS Auto Club, Van Dorn Racing Development, number 81 from Diamonddale, Michigan, Kyle Drake. Inside on row number 9, the State Building Company, Seneca Performance, number 2 from Davison, Michigan, Scotty Lamp. Alongside him, the Royal Truck and Trailer Sales, Triple B Chassis, number 71 from Milan, Michigan, Harold Fair Jr. Inside on row number 10, the Centerberry Construction and Concrete, Seneca Performance, number 15 from Middleville, Michigan, that's Lane Head. Alongside him, the over-the-top Diesel Showdown, Seneca Performance, number 78 from Onaway, Michigan, Mike Sturgill. Inside on row number 11, the Romance Garden Supply, Seneca Performance, number 40 from Windsor, Colorado, that's Jamison Russell. Alongside him, the JK Logic, Seneca Performance, number 41 from Livonia, Michigan, Hayden Sprague. Inside on row number 12, the 23rd position, the Stifle Investment, Seneca Performance, number 5 from Owosso, Michigan, that's Jimmy O. Smith. Alongside him, the Linex Spray-On Bedliners, Badass Race Cars, number 22 from Barrie, Ontario, Canada, that is Glenn Watson. Inside on row number 13, the A1 Auto Parts, Seneca Performance, number P51 from Lansing, Michigan, Scott Pemberton. Alongside him, the Betsy Ox Overnight Express, Seneca Performance, number 32 from Tawas City, Michigan, Stephen Ullman. Inside on row number 14, the Foundation Restoration, Seneca Performance, number 09 from Allen Park, Michigan, that's Boston Thiel. Alongside him, the Maxim Auto Repair, Benson Racing Equipment, number 15 from Sparta, Michigan, Brian Maxim. And scheduled to start shotgun in row number 15, the 29th position, the Mueller's Auto Repair, Howell Racing Enterprises, number 5 from Auburn, Michigan, Matt Mueller. That is your field, 29 cars set to go 100 laps here in the 13th annual Ron Hauser Memorial 100. Scheduled to go unable to answer the call, the 57 of Josh Ware, also the 10 of Jay Summers, the 76 of Doug Rodenheisler, the 99 of Lance Lipasek. Chris Philby, 29 cars, 100 laps, as we honor a man that both you and I know do very, very well. That is the late Ron Hauser.
That's right. We knew him. We worked for him. We worked with him. We announced his races, and we miss him as the big part. And our honorary starter on the flag stand tonight, 2008 Pro Late Model Track Champion and former co-owner of the track with Ron, Dave Biggis, so he'll get to wave the green to bring it down to the start.
Indeed, race fans, a big round of applause. One half of Big House Incorporated, Dave Biggis on the flag stand here this evening. He's going to be your honorary starter here tonight. And hopefully we'll get him up here in the booth and talk to him a little bit, maybe under a caution flag. It's been a while since these drivers have been on the racetrack. Right around 6:45, 7 o'clock was the last time these cars were on the racetrack. Nearly 3 hours since these cars have been fired up.
Yeah, plenty of time to take a nap, grab something to eat.
They'll give him a couple more warm-up laps. So Steve Needles breaks the track record set 363 days ago by Blake Childers, who won a 13.826. Well, Steve Needles, he won a 13.770.
It's mind-blowing times that we're seeing out of these cars right now.
7 cars in the 13-second bracket during All-Star Performance Qualifying. Needles drawing a 10 for an inversion. Pushed Justin Clardy and Scott Hans on the front row for tonight's main event. A stacked field, Chris Phobie, from top to bottom. And we know you've been here a while. We thank you for hanging out with us here at Owosso Speedway. We honor one of the late promoters of Owosso Speedway in the form of a late Ron Hauser. What we want you to do is we want you to get up. We want you to stand up. Come on! Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. It's wave lap time. This is the reveal of the Hammer Outlaw Super Late Models. The Wedge Body Warriors are ready for the 13th annual Ron Hauser Memorial 100. It's Hammer time! We are just moments away. 29 cars set to go 100 laps here in the fast 3/8 mile High Bank paved oval in Ovid, Michigan. Pace car pulls in the infield. It's in the hands of Justin Clardy. Scott Hans to lead this field on the turns 3 and 4. Your honorary guest starter, Mr. Dave Biggis, with a green flag in hand. And we are racing. Justin Clardy leads him out of turns 1 and 2 for the first time. Kyle Crump to the inside of Scott Hans. They battle for the second spot. Dan Leake looking to the inside. Leader of lap 1 is going to be Justin Clardy.
Oh, Jason Felver had a big moment there, bobbling out of turn number 4. Everyone able to keep it pointed in the right direction, but Felver loses touch with your front few. But Kyle Crump running in that second spot right now, Matt, is riding a huge wave of momentum coming into this race.
Looking at the back of the field as a caution flag comes out. Hayden Sprague's hood has popped up over the windshield, and that's going to bring out the caution flag. There you see Hayden Sprague's JK Logic's number 41.
Boy,
minus the right front fender and the hood over the windshield.
That's not just the hood. That blew up the hood, the fender.
So tough break for Hayden Sprague, making his Reveal the Hammer Outlaw Super Late Model Series debut. He's had a good season at the Flat Rock Speedway this season. Well, ironically, had their season championships tonight. He was in the top 10 in points, but thought, you know what? Tonight would be a good night to test his skills against the Reveal the Hammer series.
Well, as the Flat Rock season ends, we do still have another race coming up here as part of the Owosso 500 series. They'll be a part of the Owosso Nationals coming up in September. So good chance to get some track time. Maybe he has his position locked up at Flat Rock. Good chance to stretch his legs out a little bit and see what he has for the rest of the field as we get towards the end part of the season.
And speaking of Flat Rock, Scott Hans, winner of the Stan E Memorial back on July 27th, his teammate Connor Zabosian picking up the 2024 track championship tonight after the feature win, a former champion here at Owosso Speedway. So congratulations to Hazel Park, Michigan's Connor Zabosian.
Yeah, very cool to see for that team. And kind of cool that they can divide and conquer here as well as Scott Hans. Started outside of the front row, fell back a couple spots here in the first couple laps.
And also want to congratulations to another driver who will Reveal the Hammer Series ties. J.R. Fitzpatrick went up to Echo Bay, Ontario and the Laird Raceway. And he picked up the victory tonight in the 3rd annual Mike Parsons Memorial. So congratulations to J.R. Fitzpatrick, who was here back on May the 18th.
Yeah, not only that, decided to go there on a whim.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kicked their butts and picked up the win. So hopefully we can see JR back across the border later on in his season as well.
And also, on that note, up in Laird, congratulations to another Reveal the Hammer competitor, Chase Wilson, picking up the track championship, his second in a row up there at his home track in Echo Bay, Ontario. We're going to see all them guys here on Saturday, September 21st, the Reveal the Hammer Series finale, part of the Owosso Fall Nationals. That's on Saturday, September the 21st. Dave Big is up here in the booth. Stick around, my man. You got the best seat in the house. We're going to talk to you here in just a little bit. Chief Starter Logan McCaskill gives him the one-eye to go signal. We're going green. The next time by, restart procedure to Reveal the Hammer Series. The leader, in this case, at 7, Justin Clardy, has the option of choosing the inside, the outside lane. He chooses the inside, so the second place driver, in this case, Kyle Crump, will have to occupy that outside front row. Everybody else 2 by 2 behind him.
And keep an eye on that 16. He's won everything there is to win in the last month or so.
Hottest driver in Outlaw Super Late Models competition. On to turn number 4, green flag, we're back underway. And Kyle Crump around the outside on Justin Clardy. Clardy and Crump battle. Crump now clears Clardy. Going into turn 3 and 4, new leader lap 3, Kyle Crump.
Now, Matt, this car has led a ton of laps in Reveal the Hammer competition here at the Owosso Speedway. However, this car has also had trouble surviving to the finish at the Owosso Speedway. So now Crump not only is out in front, but he's got to manage that car for 96 more laps.
Last month on July 20th in the Camp Owosso 100, Kyle Crump led the first 85 laps before Blake Childers was able to get by for the win. Since then, Kyle Crump has gone on a tear. A week ago Tuesday, winner of the Gold Rush 124 at Flamborough Speedway in Ontario. And then last Saturday night, picking up the big $10,000 payday in the Grand Slam finale at Plymouth Motor Speedway. Crump, the hottest driver in Outlaw Super Late Model Series competition, took the lead from Justin Clardy in lap 3, and now he's got some real estate between himself and Justin Clardy, who's got a back bumper full of Dan Leake, and here comes Blake Childers.
Yeah, compared to what he had to do back in July, Matt, Childers only had to start 9th. He came from, what, 16th last time and took the win?
Yeah, Childers, not much time at all, already up to the 4th spot. The number 10 machine, Steve Needles, mired back there with Phil Moselle as he's battling for the 8th spot. But up front, Kyle Crump, your leader, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Single file, Justin Clardy, Dan Leake, Blake Childers. Already 9 laps completed, 91 laps to go. Be 10 laps in this time by Kyle Crump, former compact champion here at Owosso Speedway. Go all the way back to the 2010 season when he picked up that championship. Matt Mueller calls it tonight, the number 5. Tough break for the Auburn, Michigan driver. But Kyle Crump setting the pace, and that Big Rigs Incorporated number 16.
And Dan Leake in the 55 just itching to get underneath the 7 of Clardy. Clardy leaves him just a little bit of a gap going into turn 1. You know Leake wants to shove the car and take the spot, but he can't quite do it this early.
Not this early as we're now 12 laps completed, 88 laps to go. Kyle Crump, your race leader. Justin Clardy 2nd, Dan Leake 3rd, Blake Childers 4th. Brian Bergager now up the 5th, Chad Finley 6th. All-Star Performance Fast Qualifier, new track record holder Steve Needles up to 7th. He started in 10th. Phil Moselle is 8th. Jason Felver up to 9th, battle for 10th between Zach Cook and Scott Hans. Cook now able to get by Hans, the battle for the 10th spot. Brandon Short is right there, so is Scotty Lambs. The field comes out of turn number 4. Felver pulls away. And now Kyle Crump already mired in traffic. Puts a lap on Brian Maxim, puts a lap on Glenn Watson. For those tuning in from our neighbors to the north of Canada, you don't see that very often. Glenn Watson going a lap down.
And Crump now going to try the inside of Hayden Sprague, who's running sans a hood and a fender. But, ooh, Crump is just stuck in the hornet's nest of lap traffic right now, man.
Crump mired in traffic. And now Clardy, Leake, and Childers get into the traffic that Crump just left behind. Brian Bergager catching these 3 drivers, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. led by that yellow number 7 of Justin Clarity. Bergaker catching him, but so is Chad Finley, who is glued to the back bumper of Bergaker. Steve Needles trying to catch up as well, and so is Phil Bozell. Cars all over this 3/8 mile to Chris Foby.
We've got a full conveyor belt going right now as Crump is your leader, a very healthy advantage, 2 1/4 seconds over the rest of the field right now.
Crump just putting a lap on Windsor, Colorado's Jamison Russell in the 40 machine. Next up on his hit list looks to be Mike Sturgill in the 78 car. And not too far out in front of Sturgill, that's Harold Fair Jr., Jimmy O. Smith, and Mike Root. No slouches whatsoever.
Not at all. Those are some big names that are about to get put a lap down very early. We're only 21 laps in right now.
Kyle Crump enjoying a healthy lead. Justin Clarity second, Dan Leake third, Blake Childers fourth. Now he's got a back motor full of Brian Bergaker and Chad Finley as they come out of turn number 4. Second through 6, now nose to tail heading into turn 1.
And Finley going to try the outside of Bergaker. Thinks better of it, falls back in line.
And Steve Needles has caught this pack as well. The Needles Speed Solutions number 14, your All-Star Performance Fast Qualifier. New track record holder earlier tonight. He has caught this field as well as Bergaker now looking to throw away around Chad Finley. Tough break for Jamison Russell. He is off the pace. Over in turn number 2, couldn't get on the racetrack. Caution flag will fly.
Yeah, I do. Thanks, Dave.
Out of turn number 4, Crump and Clarity. Green flag, we're back underway. Kyle Crump, your race leader. And he'll make his way with Justin Clarity to his right elbow. Keep one eye on the leaders. Keep one eye on Steve Needles as he trying to chart his way back to the front.
Needles had his struggles earlier on in this race, but you got to believe he's got a chip on his shoulder now. He's got something he wants to prove. He's going to slice his way up through this field as quickly as possible.
Blake Childers round the outside of Dan Leake. That's for the 3rd spot. They bump, they run, Leake sideways. Finley nowhere to go. Bergaker goes by. Felver goes by. Bozell goes by. Leake somehow.
Oh no, Bozell and Felver get together.
And Adam Terry's involved. That's number 1 and number 2 in points. Sitting over in turn number 4. Brings out the caution flag one more time.
Oh wow, that was a heck of a fireball there, getting that one fired back up.
That's Adam Terry and Phil Bozell, number 1 and number 2 in points. We're sitting over there in turn number 4. The caution before, Steve Needles, was number 3 in points. And all your top points guys having a rough go here in the early going of the 13th annual Ron Hauser Memorial. And in the midst of all that, Blake Childers was able to get by Leake just before Leake got sideways. Bergaker got by. Finley got by.
Well, that's kind of what precipitated all this was Childers and Leake getting together. Leake got all kinds of crossed up, slowed down. The field had to scatter around him, and in that scattering, it kind of trailed its way back to where Bozell, Terry, Sturgill, all those guys got mixed up in it. I believe Adam Terry did pull off the track as well.
And under the caution for Needles, Scott Hance went off the racetrack. He is 6 in the points. He's back on the track now, but he's 3 laps down. So if you're one of the top point getters in this chase for the 2024 championship, it's not been a good night for you. 1 to go signal being given. 27 laps completed, 73 laps to go. 4 of the top 6 in the point standings have suffered some sort of damage or been part of a caution in this event. And Phil Bozell is not on the racetrack. He's 2nd in points. He's in the pits. Green flag, we're back underway.
Kyle Crump gets another great restart. He has been amazing every time we've gone back to green, Blake Childer's up to third.
And on that note, Adam Terry also pit side. That's your number 1 and number 2 in points. Steve Needles, number 3. He was part of a caution flag, but he's trying to claw his way through the field. This opens the door wide for Blake Childers and Justin Clardy, who are 4th and 5th in points. As Kyle Crump, and for that matter, Kyle Crump, who is 7th in the points. This could really shake things up for the 29th running of the Owosso Fall Nationals on Saturday, September 21st. Crump, your leader. Clardy 2nd. Childers 3rd. Chad Finley now 4th. Brian Berginger 5th. Dan Leakers recovered in 6th. Nice run for Brandon Short in 7th. Zach Cook 8th. Scotty Lamb 9th. And Stephen Ullman from 26 is up to 10th.
Wow. I gotta say, Matt, all day Brandon Short has very much impressed me. He has not shown out very often at these bigger events, and today he's been consistently quick in both practice sessions, in qualifying, and is backing that up here today in the race.
Well, that's Short Racing, number 18, the direct detail machine. That is the former car of 2-time Hammer Series champion Steve Needles. So it's a good car. We know it's a good car. Brandon Short getting seat time at his home track at Owosso Speedway. He's been picking up wins, and to your point, Chris, he's been traveling a little bit, and now he's really showing some muscle here this evening.
And speaking of showing some muscle, Steve Needles on his march back to the front. He's going to cross the line in 11th spot, knocking on the door of the top 10. So all it took was a chip on his shoulder, and now Steve Needles has found that extra gear.
Steve Needles reminds you of Dennis Berry when he's, and I'm gonna paraphrase here, when he is upset, when he's perturbed, he is one of the best disgruntled drivers in the country when he's mad.
And that's a whole other art, is being a mad driver. Because some guys, they get a little hot under the collar, and all of a sudden they turn into wrecking balls. But some of these guys just have that magic about them where they get mad and then they get good.
Oh yeah, and Steve Needles, one of the very best. Also one of the very best, the hottest driver in the country, that blue number 16, crossing the start-finish line now. That is Kyle Crump, who continues to lead. Almost a 3-second lead over Justin Clardy, who's got a back bumper full of Blake Childers.
Yeah, not counting for exchange rate. How much
trouble in turn number 2, and we were just talking about him. Brandon Short turns it around over in turn number 2. Brings out that the caution has not flown yet, as Brandon Short has come to rest. Brings out now the caution flies with 39 laps completed. Brandon Short facing the wrong way in turn number 2. Brings out the caution for the 5th time here this evening. Wow, teaches for giving praise.
Yeah, I had a pretty good run going today. The first one I've hyped up that's gone sideways like that.
Harold Fair Jr. off the track. Stephen Ullman comes back on the track. Chad Finley stopped over in turns 1 and 2. So all kinds of finagling going on. With 39 laps completed, 61 laps to go. We'll try it again, restart, green flag, back underway. Kyle Crump is just so strong on these restarts.
He is automatic.
Childers trying to hold off Brian Bergager with Dan Leake and Scotty Lamb right there. Steve Needles round the outside of Zach Cook. Here comes Needles, your all-star performance fast qualifier, new track record holder. On the flat part of the backstretch to get by Zach Cook.
And there hasn't been a lot of drivers using that flat on the backstretch in these Outlaw cars. Up to this point, it's pretty much only been Brian Bergaker. There's Phil Bozell.
And Bozell, yes indeed, Bozell back on it. He knows what's at stake as far as the 2024 championship battle goes. He can pick up a few spots here.
Yeah, he's presently 13 laps down, but just by running, he has a lot of potential to gain a lot of spots as cars drop out of this one.
Kyle Crump way out in front once again, a 1.1 second advantage over Justin Clardy. who's done well so far to hold off Blake Childers. Dan Leake dive bombs Brian Bergager in turn number 3.
And what an amazing recovery drive for Dan Leake. He got muscled out of a top 3 position early on in this race, and he's shown why he's probably one of the scrappiest drivers out there. He's dug his way back up. He runs it 4th.
And just behind him, Steve Needles gets by Scotty Lamb, put Needles into 6th. But yeah, Dan Leake, there's no sugarcoating. He has had an awful 2024 racing season in the Hammer Series. 2 straight blown motors. A subpar for him finish in the 3rd race here at Owosso. This is by far the best that Rosebrew Farms number 55 has looked this season.
And I would dare say Dan Leake is a driver that in the late model world does not get his flowers. He does not get anywhere near the respect he's due. He's a 2-time champion of the Jack CRA All-Stars Tour. He's won a lot of big races, but just doesn't seem to get the respect that I feel like his talent warrants.
He's won in the Reveal the Hammer Outlaws Super Late Model Series, picking up a win in his home track at Owosso Speedway back on September 11th of 2021. So he knows how to get to victory lane. So does Steve Needles. He's up to 5th as he just went by Brian Bergager.
Wow, he just ate Bergager's lunch there. Oh, Bergager hand out the window.
Oh, Bergager's season of dismay continues as we're halfway home. 50 in, 50 to go. Kyle Crump continues to show the way. That Big Rigs Incorporated number 16.
Boy, Crump is just on rails right now, just driving away from him. And again, this is not unusual for these Bobby Blount Motorsports cars here at Owosso Speedway. They do a great job getting to the front. It's getting to the end that has been the issue.
Crump your leader, Justin Clardy 2nd, Blake Childers 3rd, Dan Lee 4th, Steve Needles back to 5th, Scotty Lamb, good run in 6th, Zach Cook 7th, Jason Felver 8th, Kyle Drake 9th, and Mike Root, who went a lap down early in this event, is back in the top 10.
Now you look at the intensity of the battle for 2nd right now. Blake Childers seemed kind of content to ride for a little bit behind Justin Clardy. All of a sudden, Dan Leake, Steve Needles have closed in on him, and you have that number 10 machine is now all over Clardy, just trying whatever he can to get around that school bus yellow number 7.
And back to Phil Bozell for a second. Even though he's 13 laps off the pace, he has picked up 3 spots.
And when you're in a race for a championship, every single point counts. Phil Bozell, I have said many times, is one of the most tactical thinking drivers in Outlaw Super Late Model races. And it's moves like that that show it. How many guys would say, I got 70 laps left in this race, I'll just park it, I don't care. Not him. Bozell hops back in the car, and he is taking every single opportunity he can to add points to his total.
He has gained 10 points just by going back on the racetrack, which is, and when he came into the night, he was 18 back of Adam Terry. So that's at least, so he was going to finish ahead of Terry anyway. So that's 12 points he has gained on Adam Terry.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's already 6 spots ahead of Terry as they run right now. And we still got 42 laps for him to continue to gap himself from the 4 car.
Well, the problem for Bozell and Terry is that Steve Needles is only 4 points back of Bozell coming into this race. And now Steve Needles, who has come back from the rear of the field, he's now running in the top 5.
Well, in these situations, Matt, it really comes down to damage mitigation. Obviously, the night's going to be a write-off. It's a matter of minimizing the detriment to your season, and that's what Phil's out there doing.
60 laps completed, 40 laps to go. Kyle Crump with a 3.5 second and change lead over Justin Clardy as Crump easily knifing through traffic. Puts a lap on Watson, put a lap on Sturgill, Pemberton, and Thiel earlier. Clardy, Childers, Leake, and Needles just now catching up to the lap traffic that Crump has left behind.
And you can debate whether or not this is tactical or dumb luck, but Crump has caught all of this lap traffic at the best possible spots. He's able to sail right by him each and every time. Nobody has really held him up. But you can't really say the same right now. I mean, look, they're catching Austin Thiel right now. But they're catching him going into the corner.
And David McManus calls it a night in the 17. Tough break for the reigning Valley Truck Center Modified champion. So tough break on McManus, the one half of that Wheeler Trucking team. Clardy, Childers, Leak, and Needles threading through the traffic. So is Kyle Crump. Looking to put a lap on Brandon Short.
Yeah, Brandon Short hasn't gone down as easy as some of the other lap traffic. I think Brandon Short's got a burr in his saddle about how good his run was going.
This time by 66 laps completed, 34 laps to go. Kyle Crump way out in front, over a 4-second lead over Justin Clardy, who's got Blake Childers on his back bumper. Dan Leake is 4th, Steve Needles 5th. Go all the way back to Scotty Lamp in 6th, Zach Cook 7th, Kyle Drake 8th, Mike Root 9th, and after 2 pit stops, Harold Fair Jr. is back in the top 10. And the thing with Fair, poor qualifying effort, he started 18th.
But most importantly here, he's still on the lead lap. He's taken advantage of the way the cautions were timed, got that car handling better, and now he's worked his way back into competition as we get into the back third of this race.
Kyle Crump just on a rail as Brandon Short calls it a night, the 18. Tough break for the North Royalton, Ohio driver. We're sure to see him next month, the 29th running of the Owosso Fall Nationals. Hard to believe we're talking about the Fall Nationals already.
This season has blown by.
Well, you've had 119 races here this year, though.
118 and a half.
Okay, I got you. We're almost at 119.
That'll be tomorrow.
Kyle Crump, your race leader.
Or is it later today yet?
Yes, indeed. Now, I think we're going to be all right, knock on wood. Kyle Crump over a straightaway lead on Justin Clardy. I think of the Tom and Jerry meme where Tom is paddling Jerry. That's kind of what Kyle Crump is doing right now.
You got to think this Bobby Blount team, maybe before the race started, was burning some sage down in the pit area. Maybe called in some kind of voodoo witch doctor, something to exorcise some demons, because that car has been lights out since the start of this race, really for the last 3 weeks. But I mean, this car has just taken off and ran away and hid from everybody.
Car owner Bobby Blount has found something, not only with his driver Kyle Crump, but something in that Hanley Enterprises machine, and Kyle Crump continues to show the way.
Yeah, I was going to say he found something. His name's Kyle.
Yes, his name is Kyle Crump. 3/4 of the way through the 13th annual Ron Hauser Memorial 100. 75 laps completed, 25 laps to go. Blake Childers starting to get a little impatient with Justin Clardy now, as they look to negotiate around the lap car, the 5 of Jimmy O. Smith.
And Childers going to get to the inside of Clardy. He's been trying to do that for probably the last 50 laps.
And Childers finally able to make that pass going into turns 3 and 4. Childers now to second spot by Clardy, but Childers has got a 7-second gap to try to catch Kyle Crump.
Yeah, he's going to have to turn on the afterburners if he wants to catch Crump, or maybe pray for a caution, one of the two, because right now he has got a lot of racetrack to make up. He's just now exiting turn 2 as Crump gets back to the start-finish line.
And he's about to put a lap on your 9th and 10th place cars, Harold Fair Jr. and Mike Root. Root just went down, 9 cars left in the lead lap. Scotty Lamp's going to go down a lap. As Lamp fell back, he was in 6th. And that car has suddenly gone away, and Crump just knifing his way through as Harold Fair goes across the nose. That number 16 of Crump. 19 to go, this time by Kyle Crump putting on a clinic. In search of, ironically enough, his first Reveal the Hammer Outlaw Super Late Model Series win.
Now you look at that total right there though, Matt. Childers has already chipped away 2 seconds.
And that's with a little bit of help from some lap traffic. Another 10th just came off. Crump mired in traffic. Childers clean racetrack ahead of him for now.
Yeah, Blake Childers is going to need some help if he wants to catch Crump, but he's given it everything he has right now to try and run him down naturally. 7
cars in the lead lap as your 8th place car, Harold Fair Jr. just went a lap down. Last car in the lead lap currently in 7th is the 81 of Kyle Drake. Good run for the Diamond Dale, Michigan driver.
Yeah, he had a career run in this race a year ago, and backing it up with another strong performance here today.
Laps continuing to click off. This time by 15 to go for Kyle Crump in the 16. Looking to put a lap on Kyle Drake with Zach Cook is ahead of him. That's 6th and 7th ahead of your race leader. Childers, though, has gotten away from Clarity. Dan Leake is 4th. Steve Needles has stalled in 5th. In that Needles Speed Solutions number 14. But could be a good point stay for the two-time Hammer Series champion.
Yeah, what could have been a nightmare is recovered into a pretty solid day for Needles.
Crump gets by Kyle Drake. Now he'll set his sights on Zach Cook. That is your 6th place car. 12 to go for Kyle Crump. Childers now stalled at 5.4 seconds back, and a myriad of traffic between him and Kyle Crump.
Oh, looks like Austin Thiel going to pull off in the 09 as Crump puts now 6th place a lap down. Zach Cook. So you have 5 cars remaining on the lead lap. Just an insane performance.
And with Thiel going off, that's good news for Phil Moselle, who's, if he's able to complete the rest of this race, he'll move up one more spot to finish 15th, which could pay dividends come September 21st.
Absolutely.
Less than 10 to go, make it 9. Kyle Crump putting on a clinic here this evening in search of his first career Reveal the Hammer Outlaw Super Late Model Series win. It took him a little bit to get settled down, but since lap 39, we've been clean and green with 7 laps to go. Crump opening up that lead again on Childers. Back to a 5.8.
Oh, caution.
And caution. Justin Clarity is off the pace. Oh, he may have tagged the wall. He did. Right front damage on Justin Clarity, the Jim's Auto Body and Service Machine. That's Clarity, 5th in the points coming into tonight.
Wow, boy, Matt, you could see there was a stream of people that said Crump had this is over, it's done, that were all on their way, heading down the ramp. We could see down in front of us, heading their way out to the parking lot. That caution comes out, and all those same people just turned around.
That 5.8 second lead Kyle Crump had, it's gone. He's gonna start right next to Blake Childers in the number 10 car. Good news for Zach Cook, he'll get the free pass. 6 cars back in the lead lap.
Well, I think we'll be back to 5 here soon enough with Clarity being one of those lead lap cars.
That's very true. Haven't talked a whole lot about Glenn Watson tonight. The veteran out of Barrie, Ontario, Canada. First appearance here at Owosso Speedway. Started 24th, went down a lap early. He is 2 laps down, but he is running in the 12th spot in line for that Sweet Manufacturing Hard Charger Award.
Well, I mean, you look at his record up north, and he's one of the best. Like, no question asked, one of the best.
Perfect comparison. Heard this earlier today. Glenn Watson to Canada is what Tim Felver is to Owosso.
Exactly, and it takes a lot for a driver who has that niche where they can they are the man, period.
4-time Ontario Outlaw Super Late Model Series champion, that red number 22. 5-time champion in the old Oscar Outlaw Super Late Model Series. The winningest driver in Ontario Outlaw Super Late Model Series history. He has won over a third of their events lifetime.
Exactly. He's got nothing to prove.
Nothing at all. He wanted to come here tonight, a rare appearance in the United States. He wanted to come see Owosso Speedway. He's heard so much about it. Wanted to have a little fun tonight. And I think even with 2 laps down, running in a 12, I think he's having a ball.
And you know, you got to think, this is kind of a pressure off situation. When you are a driver of that caliber, you go to those tracks that are your normal haunts, and people have all these expectations that you're going to go out and perform. Here, he can go out, he can drive, and he can just enjoy the car for what the car is.
That is Glenn Watson, the veteran out of Barrie, Ontario, Canada. In that red number 22, the bright lime green numbers coming out of turn number 2 right now. Hoping to see him and fellow Canadian J.R. Fitzpatrick back here, the 29th running of the Owosso Fall Nationals.
I feel like if we keep calling out JR, eventually word's going to get to him.
Yeah, he's going to come back. Well, he's celebrating right now, after winning the Mike Parsons Memorial.
Yeah, but he could be here.
He could be. He could be.
I'm not going to say that he's scared.
Nah,
I mean,
we would never say that.
No, he's not scared. He just,
not even scared?
Not even scared.
All
Just
right.
maybe a little competition avoidant.
Oh.
We won't go there. We won't go there. We would never call J.R. Fitzpatrick a cherry pick.
And on that note, welcome J.R. Fitzpatrick tuning in on the Owosso Speedway YouTube channel after winning the race at Laird today.
Well, of course. He wanted to see the big race today.
right.
All seriousness, though, I am a huge J.R. Fitzpatrick
I know you
fan.
are. So here's the situation. 93 laps completed, 7 laps to go. Kyle Crump's 5.8 second lead is gone. And in a little bit of deja vu from the Camp Owosso 100 last month, he's going to start side by side with Blake Childers.
Well, this has got to be deja vu. What's the nightmare version of deja vu? That's got to be whatever this is for Kyle Crump.
Reoccurring nightmare?
Yeah, this is what that. It could be a reoccurring nightmare. We'll see how these 7 laps play out.
In the midst of all that, Justin Clardy back in the racetrack after going pit side. Because there's only 6 cars in the lead lap, he'll restart 6th.
Not a bad way to be.
Not a bad way to be at all.
Did we lose? Nope, there's Zach Cook. I thought we lost him.
If Zach Cook will get a lap back as a free pass. 1 to go. Kyle Crump will start on the inside. To his right elbow will be current Michigan Kenworth Owosso 500 Series points leader Blake Childers. Winner of the last race here at Owosso Speedway. At his home track. They'll go into turn number 3. Out of turn number 4, green flag, we're back underway. And Kyle Crump said, I don't care who is next to me. I'm getting the heck out of here.
Gosh, Crump on those restarts has just been insane.
Just money. Oh, if you're placing a bet on BetMGM, you place your bet on Kyle Crump on a restart. My goodness.
6 laps to go now. Your top 5 cars were nose to tail for a second there. Now a bit of a spread at the front, but Childers closes in on the back of the 16 awfully quick there coming out of turn 4.
And Justin Clardy already back in the top 5. In the number 7 machine, Zach Cook 6, Kyle Drake, Mike Root, Scotty Lamb, Jimmy O. Smith now in the top 10 for the first time. He started 23rd.
Inside of 5 to go, and it's still Crump leading the way. We got about a half second between him and Childers. Honestly, Matt, I really thought Childers was going to be able to pounce once this went green. That has not been the case so far. Crump is able to hold him at bay.
But Childers able to get away from Dan League, but he just cannot quite get to the back bumper of that Big Rigs Incorporated number 16. And for those that watched the Gold Rush 124 at Flamborough Speedway, it's like deja vu again. Kyle Crump in the lead, Blake Childers in second.
So laps continuing to click away. In fact, this time, Matt, we're going to be coming to the white flag. 1 more lap for Kyle Crump.
Crump receives a white flag. 1 lap to go. 3/8 of a mile for Blake Childers to try to catch him. But Kyle Crump gets away. He'll go into turn number 3. Come on turn number 4. Checkered flag in the air. First ever win in the Reveal the Hammer Series for Kyle Crump, and it comes in the 13th annual Ron Hauser Memorial.
Blake Childers will come home in second. Dan Leake third. Steve Needles fourth. Justin Clardy fifth. And Zach Cook will finish in sixth. The 7th place goes to Kyle Drake. 9 of Mike Root. 5 of Jimmy O. Smith. And Scotty Lamp completes the top 10. So after coming so close so many times, the Bobby Blount Motorsports team finds itself in victory lane here at the Owosso Speedway. Race fans, if you are heading out, just want to remind you we will be back in action 1 p.m. tomorrow. ASA Stars Michigan 200 here at the Owosso Speedway, as well as the Pure Stock Sunday Showcase. And we'll throw things down to Matt Preer in victory lane.
One of the hottest drivers in Outlaw Super Late Models coming into the race. Picks up his 3rd win in the last 2.5 weeks. A winner at Flamborough Speedway a week ago Tuesday. A winner last Saturday at Plymouth Motor Speedway in the Grand Slam finale. And he just picked up his first ever Reveal the Hammer Series win. Kyle Crump. Kyle, we've been singing your praises all day long. The hottest Outlaw Super Late Model driver in the country. Flamborough a week ago Tuesday. Plymouth last Saturday. But I have a funny feeling your first ever Reveal the Hammer Series win at your home track of Owosso Speedway means just a little bit more special.
Owosso! Finally got an Outlaw in here. It's been years and finally got one. Man, this feels good.
Your car looked like it was on rails all race long. At one point, you had a 7.7 second lead over the field. You crossed the start-finish line. Second place was just hitting the back stretch. What have you guys found in this car to go on this winning streak like this?
I wish I knew, man. I don't know if it's just seat time or what. Like, I really didn't think we were that good in practice, and just said, hey, Bob, it's been racing good. Don't touch it. Let's not get in our heads. And shit, man, we seem to be doing pretty good. Like, I had no idea how much of a lead I had, so I was kind of pushing it in lap traffic, and it caused my brakes to start fading and whatnot. But yeah, it makes it interesting not running spotters or mirrors because, dude, I figured Childers was on my tail.
Well, he was there towards the very end, but a great day for you. Congratulations. Tell us about all the marketing partners, all the people that help you out in this car.
Yeah, first of all, I got to thank Bobby putting this car together. It's been staying together now, and we're on a really good hot streak. Him, Dennis from over at AP Race Engines, Larry Zent, and then our sponsors, Big Rigs, GT Products, Duco, Lane Automotive.
And last question for you. You have a bit of history here at Owosso Speedway. Winner of the 13th annual Ron Hauser Memorial 100 with Dave Biggess in the crowd here tonight. It's got to be pretty special.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I saw Dave here earlier. I never got to meet Ron, but, you know, it's cool to be able to honor him in a race like this. And, yeah, it's just awesome, man.
Kyle Crump, winner of the 13th annual Ron Hauser Memorial. Second place tonight to Blake Childers, your Owosso 500 Series points leader. Good points day overall in the Reveal the Hammer Outlaw Super Late Model Series with nearly everyone having some sort of issue. But a second place ever tonight. But, man, that blue 16 looked awfully strong tonight.
Yeah, they had a really good car. You know, congrats to them guys. They worked hard for it. They deserve it. We were just a little bit snug. I just was tight right in the middle, and I couldn't get off the corner, and that's where we lacked all night. So if we would have had good drive off and good turn in the middle, I think it would have been a different story. But, hey, that's racing, and that's part of it, and we're happy to bring home second.
You had to be licking your chops, had to be chomping at the bit when that caution came out with 7 laps to go to give you a chance at that blue number 16. What didn't work?
Well, I thought everything was going to be all right, and he got the jump on me, and when I got on the gas, with the car just being tight, it just wanted to drive off. So on the throttle, it was going right to the wall. I had to lift for a second, get back in it, and when you do that, with these cars this close together, there's no room for error. So it just took that little bit, and that we gave her all we got. So thanks, everybody, for coming out tonight.
Last one. Tell us about the sponsors. Everyone makes this happen for you.
Rex and Sarah Wheeler, Wheeler Trucking. If it wasn't for them, you know, this would never be possible. So thanks to them guys. They really treat us well with this, and I got great crew guys. Terry Seneker, Dean Hudson, everybody comes with us. If it wasn't for the whole team, it wouldn't be possible. So it takes a whole group of us.
Blake Childers comes home in second place tonight here in the 13th annual Ron Hauser Memorial 100. Third place driver, the Rosebrew Farms, number 55, Dan Leake. And Dan, first and foremost, it is so good to see you up here on the podium. We talked about it during the broadcast tonight. It has been on the Outlaw side, and there's no sugarcoating it. It's been an awful season for you. But, man, the third place tonight, backed up with a third place last night in the Jegs race at your home track at Bertrand. This has got to feel like almost like a win for you this weekend.
Yeah, it really does. You know, to just finish these races is a miracle all on its own. So to be on the front stretch, you know, third place, I'll take it. You know, all these guys right here, they've been working their butts off all season long, even though you can't tell because we ain't been here, engine issues. But no, I just got to thank all these guys, Diesel Truck Sales, Tony Rosebrew Farms, it's his car, he lets me drive it, TR Timber, Green Contracting, Mr. Asphalt, M&M Lawn Care. I got a bunch of them, Willards, Turn 1, Seneca, Bryn, Bridge Lake, Bassett. All these guys, they, you know, it takes all of them to be here. This is an expensive sport, and, you know, I'm just lucky enough to be able to drive it.
This should give you a little bit of momentum going into the season finale on September 21st, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, finally we have some good notes and something to work on other than an engine. So, yeah, looking forward to the Nationals.
Dan Lee comes home in third place tonight here in the 13th Annual Ron Hauser Memorial. And probably one of the hardest working drivers here today, Steve Needles, your All-Star Performance Fast qualifier, new track record holder. Man, what an adventurous race for you. First and foremost, tell us what happened over there in turn 3.
Yeah, I mean, 12 car just turned left in the middle of the back straightaway. I don't know. I can't explain it any other way than that. You know, I was up alongside of him coming out of 2, and you know, it was right after restart. You kind of got to hold your line for at least a lap, right? And he's turned hard left in the middle of the backstretch, and I mean, really just took us out. So frustrating.
And we made the comparison in the broadcast, and for lack of better words, we think about Dennis Berry, who was one of the best. We're going to say it, one of the best pissed off drivers ever. Steve Needles, you fall into that category. And was that more strategy, or was that more? Man, I'm pissed.
Well, I was certainly frustrated because I thought we had a car to win to start. Coming into tonight, I thought we had a really, really good car. You know, practice and qualifying really showed the speed that it had, and then even in the race, it fired off great. And, you know, we were just kind of biding our time, trying to stay out of trouble and picking off spots as guys started to kind of fade a little bit. And, you know, unfortunately, that incident happened there and bent the front of the car up a little bit. And, you know, then it was just I just had to drive my tail off to get back to where we were. You know, it was hard, and it was frustrating, and, you know, we just got what we got.
Well, the good news is for you, it just seemed like everybody in the top 10 in points had some sort of issues, unofficially right up there in that chase for a third championship.
Yeah, you know, big picture, that's a pretty cool deal, right? This Reveal the Hammer series is a pretty big deal. It is the big deal in Outlaw Super Late Model Racing anymore, and, you know, to be able to maybe be back towards the top of that standing again, that's a pretty big deal for us. So we'll come back here in a few weeks for the last one for the Nationals, and hopefully we can, you know, finish the season off strong.
Steve Needles, hard fought, fourth place effort tonight here in the 13th Annual Ron Hauser Memorial. On behalf of all of us, the Reveal the Hammer Outlaw Super Late Model Series, we thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We know it was kind of a late night with some of the incidents and stuff, and Roger was right. Big mark here on the wall. Our final race of 2024 is a part of the 29th running of the Owosso Fall Nationals on Saturday, September 21st. 100 laps, $15,000 to win. We're going to crown a 2024 Reveal the Hammer Outlaw Super Late Model Series champion. We're going to crown a 2024 Jason D's Trailer Sales Rookie of the Year. But as for all of us, for Ronnie Klotz, Rich Mercero, Jeff Ochaska, Devon Smith, Callie Baker, the entire management and staff, my name is Matt Preer of the Performance Racing Network. We thank you so much for hosting us at the home of the Reveal the Hammer Outlaw Super Late Model Series, Owosso Speedway. We'll turn things back over to the co-voice of Owosso Speedway, Chris Phobie, to wrap things up. Thank you so very much.
Well, thank you, Matt. And don't forget, we will be back in action 1 o'clock tomorrow. ASA Stars National Tour, Michigan 200. We invite you to come on back out. For those of you driving home tonight, please be safe in your travels. We hope to see you back tomorrow, if not sooner. We thank you for coming out. My name's Chris Phobie. On behalf of Roger Williams, the Wheeler family, and all of us here at the Owosso Speedway, have a safe trip home, and we'll see you soon.